had consent.
That's what I mean. But you need consent to jab him, don't you? But if he's standing there with a parent telling him he's got to do it, that's not really consent, is it? And then you've got uniform, but then you've got uniforms, yeah, you know, or nurses in uniforms, with the uniforms giving authority to them. So when they're saying you've got to have it as well, you're dominating someone over their consent, ain't you, really? Do you know what I mean? It's like intimidation, but you just got uniforms on, isn't it?
Right.
Do you see what I mean? That's the thing, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? You're dealing with children, right? Yeah. And with these jabs, you don't know what problems they're going to have later on in life. Do you know what I mean? And we're already like, you know, we know like with the 2-year lockdown, what we've just had, yeah, we're already seeing videos, many videos where people are keeling over and, you know, not surviving that sort of jab, are we? You know what I mean? And that's why, you know, this is the problem. And are they sneaking that same jab, what they've been giving people, into these other jabs? And what were the 2 jabs? And what is what is actually within the jabs that you're giving my son? You know what I mean? Because I haven't seen an outbreak of polio in decades. Since I've never had a jab myself. Do you know what I mean? So I don't get reason why you're giving him jabs.
Right. So with these, the diphtheria, tetanus and polio.
Right, what's diphtheria?
I think I need to get somebody else to call you back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, this is again another problem, right? A lot of you people that are supposed to be trained up or whatever don't even know half of what's what. Do you know what I mean? Like,
well, I'm not clinical.
No, you're a secretary or whatever.
I will get a clinician to give you a call back and discuss it with you. But we did receive consent.
But that consent is done by a parent that ain't got a clue, that's been indoctrinated by the TV, or like children are, you know, they have to obey orders, don't they? Because that's what they want. You know what I mean? They want, people to go, yes, sir, no, sir. Because once you start questioning authority, yeah, or what's being given to you, the powers that be above are in trouble, ain't they? Do you see what I mean? But people can sign forms that are consenting. That's like, you know, most of the people in Germany say when there was troubles there in the war, they gave consent to get on the train. Do you see what I mean? But it led to their deaths, didn't it? You know what I mean? And what happened there is still going on today. Do you know what I mean? You're still wanting people's consent, but you're tricking them into things to consent to deaths, you know, things that can kill them or possibly have detrimental damage to their health later on in life. Do you know what I mean? Which is not good.
Right, okay,
so it's all trickery.
Okay. Well, can I take your phone number and I'll get a clinician to give you a call back and they can discuss it with you?
Oh, wonderful. I get so excited when you guys call me back. Right, my phone number is...
Macintosh and your dad. Yeah.
But do you see what I mean? And if you've got like a wrong-un, you know, like in the government, yeah, many wrong-uns in the government that have been indoctrinated, you know, to keep the control and the power over towns and cities, right? Let's say, for instance, like we are now dealing with Norfolk, yeah? And the people that control Norfolk are like lords, dukes and earls, or a king or a queen even, yeah? Right? And they have to, you know, through the families, yeah, they dictate what happens to us, who they control. Do you see what I mean? And they go, oh, we better give everyone this jab or whatever this is. And like within 25 years, half the people that took the jab are dead. Do you know what I mean? And they're depopulating.
Right, okay.
I know you can go, okay, and swipe that off. But have you had the jabs yourself?
Yeah.
You have? Bloody hell. Oh, there's so many profane people. Have you, you know, I mean, have you researched what's in them? Do you actually know what's in them? Because the people that control, you know, the industry for you know, like this pharmaceutical industry, yeah? Do you know what I mean? They're all on an agenda, do you know what I mean? Of how to control populations and things like that. Do you see what I mean?
Okay, yeah. Okay, well, what I'll do...
That's not okay, though.
I'll give you a call back.
Yeah.
You've obviously got your opinion and I've got mine.
Yeah.
So I'll get someone to call you back and they can discuss it with you,
yeah.
Okay?
See what I mean? But
all
that's
right
the thing, the way you said that...
I've got to go because
I bet you have.
Waiting.
Yeah, I know, I get it. Yeah, all right. Have a great day,
you.
Sugar Puff.
And
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye. Bye, 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 bye. And again, like I said, there's the phone number if you want to ring them. But that's the thing, you see, these people, they say, I've got to go, we've got more phone calls, do you see what I mean? And they palm you off, do you know what I mean? But this is the thing, you see what I mean? They ain't got a clue what they're giving you. They don't know anything what's going to happen in the long term. You know what I mean? I don't know anyone, does a human need to be, putting mercury in their system or any of them other things? Do you know what I mean? That's, your body's not built for them sort of things. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying they're all they're all unsafe or whatever, but you got to remember when like spina bifida come out, or them other things where they injected all them pregnant women, and none of them were born with no arms and things like this. Do you know what I mean? This is your government. Do you know what I mean? They experiment on you to see if things go right. And if it does, they go, oh, we can give it to our children now. We're safe. We can take this. Oh, shit, that's a mess up. We're not taking that one. Do you know what I mean? So you're all an experiment, do you know what I mean, for the elite and those above. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? And that's what they do. They test it. And they're not doing it by, oh, let's see what happened in 25 years. No, they're saying, well, let's see what happened in 50 years or 100 years. Do you know what I mean? Before they decide to take it. Do you see what I mean? To make sure that is, that ain't going to mess them up. Do you know what I mean? Or their family lines or anything else. You know what I mean? We're the experiment. Let's test this out, see if it works, see what happens. Do you know what I mean? And all it is, we just protect the elite. You know what I mean? And they've been doing it since the war. I know I went on about the war in my own, but what I'm saying is you give consent to get on that train. You give consent to go into that clinic. As soon as you go into that clinic, as soon as that's like I got stopped the other week, by the police, Now, I pulled over to the side to stop to let the police go through, but because I stopped, they said I consented that their authority over me, you know what I mean? I was acknowledging their authority to stop me because I stopped. So next time, obviously, I'll just carry on driving regardless of how many blue lights I've got behind me until I get to my destination and then stop. Because if you stop to a blue light, according to the police, that's consent enough to give them power of authority over you because you stopped your car because there's a blue light behind you. Do you know what I mean? That's how tricky these people are. Everything to do with these people is consent, consent, consent. But like I said, when you've got someone in authority, you know what I mean? Say you've got two people, just normal criminals, for instance, like druggies, and they'll shoot people and kill people. You put two doctors' uniforms on them, and they stand in front of you, you're going to think they're doctors. Same as if they've got police uniforms, you think they're police. And because they've got a uniform on, which is doctors or a police or a politician with a suit on, you've got to trust that at face value. Well, don't, because I tell you what, that's where these are the people. They're what we call the Masonic Judas goats. Look it up, the Judas goat, This is what these people are. They lead you to the slaughter, you know what I mean? And they do it in such tricky ways. And like I said, they're going, oh, a consent form was signed, but my boy who took, got the 2 jabs for diphtheria or whatever these fucking things are, he didn't give his consent. He was coerced, and under threat by the doctors around him because they're all in authority, and that's what he's supposed to be listening to. And also he's got a parent there that's fucking indoctrinated by a telly telling him to do it as well. So he trusts the parent. Do you know what I mean? That's how they do it. See, they get you, they groom you to obey authority, because if you start a questioning authority, that's when they make you into a vomit, a victim of Masonic ill treatment. They'll hound you, you'll lose your money, they'll do all sorts of things to distract you, do you know what I mean? And get you off thinking what they're doing, They'll get you thinking about flat earth, you know what I mean, the moon landings, all them things that, or they'll start a war somewhere and say, oh yeah, we've got a war here, keep your eye on that because that could affect you and the war will come to you, do you know what I mean? Where he wants you to just go, boom, no, what we'll do, the people who are taking us to war, like Hitler or Churchill, we should have just shot them and all the leaders, because then there would have been no war. You know what I mean? All them profane people that were family men, and women, or those in the resistance, blah, 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 there would be no war. Do you know what I mean? Because people want to live in peace. Normal, profane people want to live in peace, not in fucking chaos. They like the chaos because it keeps the control. It stops you looking internally within your own towns and within your own cities at the corruption. Do you see what I mean? They want you looking outwards. As long as we keep them distracted and not looking within their own towns and their own cities of who's running what, we're happy. And that's what it's all about. And that's why they keep all the information that come in. Look at the White House, look at this, look at that, look at that. And the people in the White, in America are getting news from England. Oh, number 10 this, number 10 that. Oh, here come Boris, here come this, here comes that. Do you see what I mean? Because it's all distractional shit. Do you know what I mean? What you got to do is get the people that are corrupt and in power within your town and city that are working for these elites anyway, or they wouldn't be in place. And that's willed down generation out of generation. You've got to get them out. You try voting them out and start winning your towns and cities back. You'll see the Freemasons rise up their lodges and put you back down where you belong, because you're the hated profane. Like I said, they own all the businesses, they own all the land, they own all the water, they own all the air, that you breathe. Do you know what I mean? And they control it all. You try voting you see if you take control of any towns away from these Freemasons, any control, they're going to come after you and put you in your place. I'm telling you. You know what I mean? And like I said, if you will do, what it takes to do that, then you've got no chance. They'll always control it, because they're willing to pull the trigger. They're willing to bomb a town. They're willing to do everything they can. Do you know what I mean? They've done it with Hiroshima and other, the genocide that we've done, let alone what other people do. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, when you're the one in doing the killing and the shooting and whatever, you're the heroes. You're you're this, you're that. Do you know what I mean? You're never the terrorist in another country. Do you know what I mean? Oh no, it's them that are terrorists. They're the bad people. They're the wrong people. Do you know what I mean? Even though you're serving up drugs left, right and centre to all sorts of different countries just to keep that control and the chaos going within towns and cities. Do you know what I mean? But like I said, you've got to research right. And looking at the flat earth or the moon ain't where you're looking. Do you know what I mean? That's a distraction by the elite. You know what I mean? And there's many, many other things as well I could go into, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? But you've got to look within your own towns, your own cities, and the corruption there. Do you know what I mean? But these people, like I said, they use their authority by uniforms, by, tricking you that they have power over you. No, they have no power. You need to give consent. And if they can't get your consent, they'll coerce you into it with fear or fright. Do you know what I mean? Or they'll bring in, there might be two nurses there, they might bring a policeman in, and that reinforces what them two nurses, you've got to trust us, even though they're all on the agenda of being Freemasons and on the agenda. Do you know what I mean? And they're under threat as well. They got to give it to you, because if they don't, they're sacked. Do you know what I mean? So it's all coercion, it's all blackmail, do you know what I mean? Just to get consent all the time from profane people, do you know what I mean? But you've got to work it out, you know what I mean? I can tell you all day long, but you've got to look beyond, that tunnel vision. Do you know what I mean? You've got to come out of that tunnel vision and out of the box, the Masonic cube. Do you know what I mean? Because that's your prison. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, people in uniform are just people. Do you know what I mean? Regardless of what they are, whether it's a king, a queen, they all shit. Do you know what I mean? They all piss the same. Do you know what I mean? They all feel, but they just put special powers on top of them and give their own fucking, like I said, just the same as the ranks within Freemasonry. Do you know what I mean? They've just given it themselves, and all they've done, is just bullied people off their land. And then put another bunch of people on there and go, you now control that, look after that town, look after that city, and they go around in gangs. Any threat to that, they'll kill them, murder them, or oust them out. Do you know what I mean? And that's all they do. Anyway, there's more to come. Like I said, let's see what happens. I don't want to keep this line going because I want them to ring me back. Do you know what I mean? But as soon as they do, I guarantee I'll be filming it. Have a great day, my sugar puffs.